Hey, here's another demo that I'm going to bring to life in a quick tutorial video. This one deals with um, your environmental map, or basically kind of your background that you can have back here. A very popular one that people like, especially if you have night scenes or if your particular scene or animation at the point is happening in outer space. This is pretty popular and easy to do. So here I have kind of a background happening, and what I want to do is I want to make it look like it's nighttime here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to open up my map or my materials, and hey, look at that. There's my materials. And what I want to do is create a noise map on this material here. So choosing an empty slot. This one is empty. I'm going to go to here, click on the diffuse box, and wait for my more materials to pop open. Computer's still angry with me. I still have a lot of projects open right now, so it's being pretty slow. We'll see how this goes. Still waiting. All right, so it finally popped up, and what I'm going to do here is choose the noise. And so here's noise, and I'm going to open that up right here, and it just looks like a bunch of kind of fuzzy black and white mess on that material there. And what I'm going to do now is start to modify that. And I'm going to do that by lowering this out to about, I think it's the setting I like usually is somewhere around the 0.6 range. And we kind of tweak this and bring this down 0.7, 0.6 ish, 0.7 ish. I'm going to raise this up. And you see how it's slightly changing my material here. So it's kind of taking those big fuzzy blobs that were there before and really shrunk them down to size. And now what I'm doing is balancing out the low and the high areas, basically the lights and the darks. And so I'm cranking this up. We'll see what that looks like. Um, you can take it a lot smaller steps. Let's see 0.65. Let's see what that looks like. 0.755, 0.75. Let's see. That pretty good. I see little white specks in there. Mostly it's a black field, so that kind of might be what I'm looking for. It's kind of hit or miss depending on how lit up you want your sky to be, how big of a star cluster you want in your sky. Um, Kind of all depends on this right here. This a little bit, but I don't know. I usually stick with zero point 0.6, and this is usually what varies. So let's get into our environment map now. So I'm going to press 8 on the keyboard, and environment and effects pops up. What I want to do here is change my environment map. I have one set here for physical sun and sky. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go all the way down to what I just created. And I should have map for plane noise. Oh, that doesn't look right. Something is missing here. Oh, I'm not all the way down. Here I am. Diffuse color map 19. Hey, look at that. 19, 19. Make sure you're choosing the right environment. Noise. So that's what I just created. Perfect. I'm going to click OK on that. I'm going to create an instance of that. I can see in my preview what that's going to kind of look like. So I'm going to, this is not a very high quality preview, but now I'm going to kind of take a look at what this might look like. I'm going to F9 on my keyboard and kind of get a new reading of what my environment's looking like. I should have done this on one that does not have as much of other materials to render, but that is a bright moonlight shining down, I guess. So I don't like really how large those clusters were looking. So what I might do is um, oh, cancel. It's not doing anything. All right, so I'm going to start altering this. Maybe I'll lower this, and now do an F9. Tweaks it a little bit, made them a little bit smaller specs. I can do with less, so I'm going to cancel this process again and start tweaking this. F9, keep checking. And that looks pretty good. That's getting there. I like how it just creates something that's random, which, to anyone, that any novice looking up in the night sky, you're not going to notice the patterns or the constellations so much, especially when you're moving around in a film, or you have camera work that's moving about in outer space or looking at the sky. You're not going to be able to pick up on all those details, but it's kind of random, and you have brighter stars and dimmer stars, which is cool, and that kind of works out. So that is pretty much it. It's super simple, creating a noise material here, and applying that into your environment. Man, that is so bright. So I might have to go in and check on like what kind of exposure control I have going on here to control that light. But anyways, that is pretty much how it's going to go about adding your night sky, getting that kind of map. It's not going to show up here unless you absolutely want all your materials to show up in your program. But again, that's going to slow everything down. That is pretty much the effect that we're going for. So here, get another quick look in the F9 so you can kind of see kind of the starfield. Pretty simple. Go for it. Good luck, and hope you find some use out of that somehow. Thanks.